Hi, everybody. It's Debbie from Century 21 Homestar going over the revised buyer broker compensation agreement. So they did change things up a little bit to make it easier for all of you. So we're going to go over this document now. Section number 1 is the identity of the party. So on line 3 and 4, you're going to put all your sellers' names and you're going to put all your buyers' names. On line 5-2, identity of the property. That's where you're going to put the buyer agent's brokerage. So that's your brokerage. And then also the complete property address on line number 7. On line number 8-3, the fee arrangement, they do still have this bolded out because everyone needs to understand what the new rules are per the settlement. Broker fees and commissions are not set by law, are fully negotiable, and may be paid by the seller, the buyer, the landlord, the tenant, or a third party, or by sharing or splitting fees and commissions between brokers. Then you get into the fee structure. On line number 10, it says in this transaction, the amount of buyer broker compensation shall be as follows. And if left blank, it will be 0. So make sure you're filling things out. On line 11A, that's where you're going to put the seller agrees to pay, and you will put a dollar amount or percentage on there towards the buyer broker compensation to the buyer brokerage. So that's asking the seller to pay for the buyer agent fee. Just a reminder, you can ask the listing agent when you're getting ready to write your offer if the seller is going to contribute to your fee. Then you'll know what you want to put in there. If you cannot reach them, then you just put in the amount that you expect to be paid and you'll be negotiating at that point. On line 12B, the buyer agrees to pay, and at the very least, you want to put your office fee in there. So your $350 goes there, and then if the buyer is going to contribute part of the money towards your compensation, you would put that in there as well to the buyer broker to fulfill buyer brokerage compensation obligation to the buyer brokerage. So I do have a note there in a couple different places to remind you to add your $350 fee there. You have to put that on there. Otherwise, you cannot charge it. And you'll see why when we get into this next section. Buyer brokerage shall not accept more compensation from any source that exceeds the amount or rate agreed to on this agreement with the buyer. Any commissions or compensation arising from a real estate licensee's licensed activity shall be made payable to the brokerage and paid at or before the closing as defined in the purchase agreement. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that you have to have everything documented. General terms on line 18 is also going to talk about modifications or amendments to this agreement. And then very important, the highlighted section there that says this agreement supersedes any prior agreement between the seller or the listing brokerage and the buyer as to the amount of compensation owed to the brokerage. So make sure that you have your $350 fee on there and how much you expect to be paid. You cannot go over what is listed on your exclusive buyer's agency agreement. That's part of the new terms from the settlement. Line 23 is where the seller is going to acknowledge. So we do need sellers' signatures on here. And if there's 2 sellers, you want to have both of them sign and also print their names on here. And then line 24, the buyer is acknowledging the fees according to this with their signatures and also print their names on there as well. I do have some little notes down at the bottom of this example to remind you of things. If you have any questions whatsoever about this document or any others, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are here for you, and I'd be happy to help you with anything. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.